The eighth point, from this we can realize that the Prophet ﷺ never built personal cult. So we are Muslims. We are not Muhammadans. We are not followers of Muhammad as a person. And we are following the message which was presented to people through Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the role of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was that he was the messenger, receiving from Allah God and conveying to people. So the fellowship is to the message. The obedience is to God, the one who sent him. It's not to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam per se. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala told us in Al-Quran Kareem, قُلْ إِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ. I am a person exactly like you. يُوحَى إِلَيْ, receiving revelation. So the Prophet ﷺ was not different than any other human being, except in the revelation. So that's even in the isma, when we talk about the isma, the infallibility of the Prophet ﷺ, it's in issues related to the message, to the revelation. It's when we talk about the attachment, the attachment is to the message. Him being a messenger, he has certain role, and of course we abide by that role. His sunnah has certain role when it comes to Quran, then we take that role. But we are not doing it as fans of Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. We are taking it as believers believing in the message that was brought to us by Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And our love to him is part of our love to him as being messenger, not as being a person called Muhammad. So our love to him is not a romantic love, like the way we love our spouses, like the way we love our children. It's a love means that we follow him, follow his teachings, because they are the teachings of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. قل إن كنتم تحبون الله فاتبعوني يحببكم الله. And when if you love Allah, then follow me, follow the message, then Allah will love you. This is the way Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam built Muslims. The ninth point is that using different teaching styles. Now these teaching styles, the way also the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam dealt with the Sahaba, really built certain respect in the hearts and the minds of the Sahaba towards the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was merciful, he was kind, he was all of these characteristics which are mentioned in many books like Al-Shifa and Al-Wafa fi Huquq al-Mustafa, Al-Shifa by Al-Qadi Iyad and Al-Wafa by Ibn al-Jawzi. So yeah, this helped in building this. But all of this goes to the fact that he was the messenger of God, not Muhammad per se. That's one point. Then he used different styles. In Mecca, he would used to teach people at homes, and him himself would teach people and would assign some other people to teach. In Medina, his education became more systematic. He started giving the study sessions, the learning sessions in the masjid, different than in Mecca. So these are different styles. And in all of this, a great attention also was paid to women. When they told him that we need certain days, he assigned them certain days to start addressing their concerns. And in all of this, the Prophet's style was actually a unique mix between what is called executive method and the interactive method in education. Executive method, when you give a speech. Interactive method, when you start asking people, the audience, certain questions in order to convey a certain point to them. So Rasulullah ﷺ used both whenever it is needed. At times he would address people by khutbah, which is executive method. And at times he will ask the Sahabi certain questions to get him to reach to a certain conclusion. As an example, a man came to the Prophet ﷺ telling him, Ya Rasulullah, my wife gave a birth to a son, to a boy, and he has dark skin, and I don't have dark skin, so I can't recognize his lineage to me. Rasulullah didn't lecture him, didn't tell him, look, you are accusing your wife with zina and this is not right, you are committing haram. Rasulullah used the second approach, the interactive approach. He started asking him questions. Do you have camels? He said, yes, I do have camels. Are they the same color? He told him, no. Don't you have a camel as an example with certain spots in the skin? He said, yes. He told him, why? Why is this camel, one single camel, in the color of the skin separate than the others? He told him, لَعَلَّهُ نَزَعَهُ عِرْقٌ, in reference to the genes. Maybe the genetics. Now the word genetics at that time was not used, but this is what it will translate to be. لَعَلَّهُ نَزَعَهُ عِرْقٌ. Maybe the genetics led to this. So he told him, what about your son? So how can you not be consistent? If you apply this to your camel, apply this to your son. So maybe that's his gene, in other words. This is his irq in reference to the previous impact of the parents on the characteristics, or the grandparents' characteristics on the baby born. So maybe this is what caused him to be different in the prophet in this. And another point regarding the style, Rasulullah never restricted the answer to the question at certain times. If people need more, he will answer them more. And one time he was asked about wudu. They told him, Ya Rasulullah, inna nusafiru bil bahr wa laysa ma'ana al-ma' afanatawadda'u bih. Or Rasulullah, we travel by sea, by ocean, and we don't have water, enough water. Can we make wudu using the sea water? Now Rasulullah didn't give them yes or no answer. He gave them answer benefits them more, so they can apply it in more other situations. He told them, what tahuru ma'u, the water is tahir. It means that you can use it for wudu, you can use it for ghusl, you can use it for cleaning your clothes, for removing dirt, for doing anything, any purpose. It's tahir. You can use it as you use the tahir water in any place. So if he told them yes, you can use it for wudu, then they need another evidence for using it for ghusl or using it for washing the clothes. Not only this, Rasulullah also educated them more. He told them, al-hillu maytatu. Al-hillu maytatu means it's dead is halal for you, because when you fish a fish and you get it out of water, you don't slaughter it, because it will die after you take it from water, removing it from water. So you don't need, in order to eat the flesh, you don't need to slaughter it upon fishing it. That's it, you fished it and that's it. So the mayta, the dead fish from the sea, as long as you fished it from the sea, is halal for you to eat. They didn't ask him about this. So at times Rasulullah used to tell them this. And at times even he would expand the horizon of the person. When a man asked him about as-sa'a, the hour, mata as-sa'a, mata as-sa'a, mata as-sa'a, very often Rasulullah was giving the khutbah and the Bedouin kept asking him, Ya Rasulullah, mata as-sa'a, when is the hour? When is the hour? And after that Rasulullah told him, he told the Sahaba who was the person who kept asking about the sa'a, the hour. He was introduced to him. He told him, ماذا أعددت لها? What did you prepare for the sa'a, for the hour, instead of asking when is it going to happen? So he changed totally his horizon, his scope of thinking. Instead of focusing on when it is going to happen, focus on what you need. Now people are focusing on the signs of the hour more than focusing on the hour itself. We are fascinated by in circulating this event from the signs of the hour, that event is from the other signs of the hour, which is fine, but this shouldn't be the focus. The focus is what are we doing when we are going to face this moment, instead of, okay, yeah, this is a sign. So we need to follow the guidance of the Prophet ﷺ in this regard. The 10th point in the way Rasulullah ﷺ taught the Sahaba is that he built in them the critical way of thinking. And the roots for the critical way of thinking are established in Al-Quran Al-Kareem. So many ayat in Al-Quran Al-Kareem, Makki and Madani, are calling people to think, to travel, to look, to study. The very first ayah is asking people to read. اقرأ باسم ربك الذي خلق. But to read by the name of your Lord. So reading is general. And by the name of your Lord qualifies the reading, which means you don't read in a haphazard way, but you read in a very critical way, within what your Lord defines. So we need critically. We need to read in a critical way. And this was also illustrated by Rasulullah ﷺ in many examples. We just brought up one example when a man came to Rasulullah ﷺ complaining to him about his boy, his baby boy. Now, these are the 10 points which I mentioned regarding the method of Rasulullah ﷺ. Most importantly, he built the Aqidah as in a dynamic way, as a frame, as a starting point, in a dynamic fashion. He responded to people's life. He defined the sphere of revelation and reason, and so on. And they are not meant to be restricted to this. Anyone can follow up, and maybe if discover more points can be added to this characteristics of the Prophet's ﷺ method in teaching the Sahaba. And inshallah we'll address some other points as the discussion goes on.